Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Arte y Cocina with Lizzie. Bienvenidos. Today we're gonna cook some ground beef, and I'm gonna make some mini meatballs. And the reason I'm trying to teach you this is because Christmas is coming. You're probably gonna have people in your house, and these 4 appetizers are absolutely delicious. It looks like it's a lot of stuff, but really it's not that much. So stay with me, and I'm gonna tell you what to do. Okay, my loves. This is what you're gonna need for this dish. We're gonna need your ground beef, okay? It's all depends how many people you have in the house. This is about half pound, okay? Sofrito. We're gonna need some water, and I'll let you know how much we're gonna need after we start cooking. We're gonna need a potato, the adobo Goya seasoning. I'm gonna use some of these sweet peppers, some olives, sazón, cubito de pollo, 1 cube of the chicken bouillon. I told you that in Spanish, but it's okay, so you start learning with me. A can of tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and cumin and oregano. So you're gonna see me measuring for you, and you're gonna see how much I'm gonna use after I start cooking with all of this for you, okay? So let's get going, so I explain you what to do with the meat. Okay, my love, if you can see, I'm gonna use gloves today because my fingernails are way too long. I don't want all of that meat to go inside my fingernails because it's very hard to start getting all of that stuff out and cleaning your hands really good. But anyway, this is what we're gonna do. After you put your meat in the little dish, or a bowl, we're gonna add a little bit of sofrito. So let's see, let's start with 1 teaspoon, okay? Here it is. 1 extremely full teaspoon, okay? So I want to put more, but I touch the meat with that. So let me go ahead and use another spoon, and because you don't want to mix that meat with anything, okay? And let's put 1.5 full teaspoon of sofrito inside your beef. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and use a little bit of Goya seasoning. So let me put a little bit of here. This is a full spoon, and I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of Goya seasoning. We cannot put too much because remember that we're gonna use the chicken cube in the when we start cooking the little meatballs. So now we also want to use some of the breadcrumbs, and we're gonna use a spoonful of the breadcrumbs. Sometimes I don't use breadcrumbs or eggs, so if you don't want to use it, it's fine. I use it today so you can get a little bit more flavor, and the egg is for the meat to get really tight when we start doing the meatballs. Now we're gonna use a little bit of oregano, and this is a half teaspoon of oregano. We don't want to need that much. Remember, if you use more meat, just double your recipe, okay? And we're gonna add 1 egg, and I beat the egg before I put it in the meat. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix all of this together, but before I mix all of this together, peel your potatoes, cut it in cubes, and set it aside, okay? And this we're gonna mix really, really good. If you think you need something else, when you finish mixing it, like a little bit more adobo, I think I can put a little bit more adobo, like half teaspoon for seasoning. I'm gonna go ahead and put and use more. Okay, look how pretty this meat is looking. Remember, whatever you don't like, you don't need to add it. This is just the way I cook it, and like I told you, sometimes I don't even use egg because these have fat and many times help to for the meatballs to get together. Well, let me tell you something, this is a lot better and a lot tastier than the one that you buy frozen in the stores. I really truly don't like them. I eat them when somebody serve it, of course, with some barbecue and stuff like that. But this is absolutely delicious. You're really gonna like it. And you can make the regular meatball sizes at your house, and you can make the sandwiches with the well, not really, like you use the hot dog bread, the buns, and inside the hot dog you put like 3 meatballs on the regular size, and it tastes really, really good. So let me go ahead and use a little bit more of the adobo. I think half teaspoon is gonna be enough because we don't want it too salty, okay? And this is more than enough to start cooking our meatballs. In Spanish, we call them albóndigas, okay? So sometimes if I tell you albóndigas, that means that I'm telling you meatballs in Spanish. So that is the word for today, the new word for today for you to learn. Albóndiga, meatballs. So once we finish mixing this really good, and let me tell you, it smells really good. Look how pretty this is looking. So the next step, I'm gonna take my glove because now I already mixed them. My hands are very, very clean. I took my jewelry off, and I'm gonna try not to put too much meat in my nails. I'm gonna cut them tomorrow or the next day. I haven't had a chance to go to do my nails, but anyway, you get a little piece. You can make them big for this dish too if you wanted to, and then you roll them and you make them this small, and then you make all the meat like that, and you can pre-cook them and put them in your freezer. I tell you when it's time for you to get them out, so you can go ahead and pre-cook them and put them back in the freezer. Anyway, let's do another meatball. That's sofrito. It tastes, I mean, it smells so good in anything, even without being cooking. There is another meatball, and we're gonna put it in the plate. And I'm gonna clean my hands because I'm gonna have to stop and make all the meatballs and come back to tell you the next step. Don't go away, don't cheat, don't go away. Okay, here we're gonna start now with the next step. We need the water hot, okay? I use 1 cup of water. This is a regular meatball. See how big they are? This is the little meatball that I have for you. Okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start putting on water the meatballs. Just get that one in there. Remember that the meat shrink. Now, if you want to make these meatballs the regular size, it's fine too. So When I used to live in the military life, I used to make this for when they ask me for something, when we get a get together. Okay, so we keep putting that in the hot water, and we are not gonna move them, because if you start moving them, they're gonna break. Let me get this a little bit high, like in 8, so they start boiling. The reason I like it, the water hot, is because that way when you put your meatballs in the water, they start sealing. Some people fry them. Some people don't use the water, but like if you see other of my videos with the ground meat, you know the I use water to cook, and the hamburgers too. This you can also use it for spaghettis. Just remember not to put too much seasoning, because then they get too salty with the sauce that you use for your spaghettis, okay? Look how pretty it's looking. I'm glad that you're here with me. I love you. Let's have a little bit fun, my friends. Okay, so you see, they already start cooking. I use the wok because it's deeper. Once these start cooking, start moving a little bit to make some more room. Then we can move them, okay? I use a lot of the okays, right? But it's okay. Well, you see how many you have when you make them small? Today I'm gonna eat some of this, but I'm gonna fix some white rice for me, because I really want some of this with white rice. So you just be careful, and you can like fix them right. If they don't have too much water, like this one don't have too much water, you can move them a little bit, but you have to be careful until until the meat start looking like this, my friends. Let me show you. The whole meatball is gonna look like this, and then we are okay to move them. Okay, now we can move them a little bit in the middle, but you have to be careful, okay? I just need to move them so the other ones start cooking on the other side. But what we're gonna do, so we don't break them, because they're very, very tender. I'm going to cover them, and that way they're gonna cook a lot better, and I don't have to move them too much, okay? Because I don't want you to break them. I come back, and this is ready. And this, if you want to freeze them, this is the point where I call the meat pre-cook. It's perfect to put it in the freezer if you want to do the sauce fresh and nice next time, and put all the meatballs in there. You can use this for a lot of different dishes, okay? It's not only for this that I'm making this now, okay? So now we need to decide if we're gonna get a little bit of that fat out, okay? There it is. It's not that bad, because this meat is 80-20. This meat is perfect for what we're doing. I mean, for what are we doing? Let me get a little bit of that water out, so we start the next step. So let's see how much water we can get out. So we need a little bit. Okay, we need this. We have, let me tell you, we have 1/4, 2 ounces out. Okay? So now we're gonna add the potatoes. And the potatoes is gonna cook with the meat. We don't have to cook them, you know, in another pot or anything. We're gonna cook them in here. And I save the water just in case I need some more, because probably I'm gonna need some water soon. So we're gonna use the same juicy that we got out in there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and open a little place in here. And we're gonna use the rest of the sofrito that we have on the beginning. So we use the whole cup of sofrito for this dish. And we're gonna let this to start smelling really good. This is when you start getting hungry. When you start smelling all of that wonderful sofrito in there. Now I have my culantro frozen, like I told you in one of my videos, and I'm gonna get some, I'm gonna break it in pieces, and I'm gonna put that culantro in there. This gives the food a lot of flavor. You don't need to eat this. This is just for flavor. You can take it out later. You don't need to put that much. I just like it and I put that much, okay? Let's move this again, because see, they are completely hard now. So we can move them and get all of that flavor on the meatballs. So I'm gonna have half of the cube, just half, because, and we're gonna try to put it in the water, not in the on top of the meatballs, because we always can add salt, but if we put too much, then that's a problem. Okay, that's the big one. Oh my goodness, it's smelling so good. Now let me put it on 8 again, so that starts boiling. And we're gonna use some we're gonna use 1 teaspoon, just like this, of oregano, and we're gonna spread it all around. Remember, we already put oregano on the meatballs, so we don't need to put that much oregano. We're gonna use a little bit of cumin, just like this much, and we're gonna put it all around too. That way they just don't go on one spot, and we go ahead and move. We're going to add some sweet, if you like them, but this is for flavor too, pepper. I like them, so I put a lot. We're gonna add some olives, stuffed olives, just a few for flavor. And we're gonna move. Oh my gosh. This is looking so good, my friends. So good. Oh, look how pretty. Now we're gonna get this in 6. Let's go ahead and get that down. Pretty soon we're gonna try it and see if this needs more salt or not. Remember, I just used half cube of chicken, the bouillon. And we're gonna add the sazon for the tan and flavor. There we go. Look how pretty that color is. See, it's thickening now. So I'm gonna have to add that gravy that I took back to here. And if you don't want to use it, the same one, you can add clean water again. So if you don't like, you know, that much oil that they got out from the meat. Put these back again. I was thinking that I'm not gonna need it, but they need it for the potatoes. And I probably have to put a little bit more water. I need to see after I add the sauce. And I think I'm going to, because the sauce is gonna make it really thick. And I'm gonna use the whole can of tomato sauce. Remember, the tomato sauce has salt. The cube have salt. We put some seasoning, which is the adobo Goya, has salt, so you have to be careful. And the olives also have salt. So you have to be careful when you cook all of that stuff, because then they get too salty. And look how beautiful this is looking. So far it's looking pretty good, because I like them when they're thick. Some people put some other stuff. You can also use in here some carrots. The carrots are excellent if you put them in there. You can also put some a small can of corn. And so on. Let me go ahead and add a little bit of water because it's too thick. And this is half. I like to get the water in here because I can get the rest of the sauce. Half can of water. That way the potatoes can cook really good. And now we're gonna cover. We're gonna taste it later. Let's see if all the flavors and everything cook together so it tastes good. And I'll be back with you. here is completely done. The potatoes are soft. See? The potatoes are soft. I already tried one of the meatballs and not did anything. No salt, no cubes, no nothing. If you want to add pepper, or if you like the hot sauce, and everybody like the hot sauce, this is the time to put all that stuff. Or people can put just the hot sauce, by themselves. So now I'm gonna show you how I serve them. 2 different ways. This is the way when I have people in the house, and it's a lot of them, I go ahead and serve them in the plate, like this, like for Christmas. And I put some of these little beautiful sticks in there. I have a little plates. You can use a bigger one. I just have these little ones, okay? And then people can come, pick the meat, whatever they like. If they want to put hot sauce, just put a bottle of hot sauce in there. And this is excellent if you have a party at home or you want to take this to the office. You're going to impress everybody, I can tell you this much, okay? Now, I'm going to show you also how I serve it in my house with some white rice and nothing else. I just going to serve it with white rice. So I hope you like this, but don't go away. I'm still here. And here is the arroz con albóndigas guisadas. It's white rice with some like stew meatballs. I wish you wasn't here to try this dish. It's really good, believe me. Well, if you like this video, I hope you give me some thumbs up. And I really wish you share this video with some of your friends. And I'm gonna have a lot more for you. Many kisses, a big hug, and come back. Bye-bye.